The UPR, this particular model, has actually got a very interesting trigger. It's called a set trigger, which I'll describe in a little bit more detail when we take a closer look at the UPR. The set trigger allows you to push the trigger forward, and in the old days that would be called a hair trigger. Makes it exceptionally light. The set trigger is really nice for bench rest work, for sighting in and zeroing your scope, for getting all those little things sorted out. But under normal practical circumstances, I'm not too sure I'd actually use it. The trigger as it is standard is absolutely perfect there at about 2 pounds. And like I said, it breaks beautifully, so there's no creep, nothing. Put your finger on the trigger when you're ready to shoot, squeeze off that shot and it breaks like ice. Now, not all the models have a set trigger. Some models are available with the standard trigger. This particular one, and I'm going to show you the difference in a moment, the rifle is definitely empty. Let's actually take the magazine out and do that little exercise again. Empty. This is its normal configuration, and there your trigger breaks. However, you can, if you want to, if you wish, push the trigger forward. You hear the click. And now we're not talking about pounds, now we're talking about ounces here. Literally rest your finger on the trigger and it is scary light. I certainly wouldn't use that in any normal application. When you're all excited in the veld and you're hunting, man, you are not going to fire when you want to fire. So rather just leave it in its standard mode. Use the set trigger on a bench, nice and safe, and you want to zero your scope. Is that with these rifles, and I found it with the CTR, I've actually carried the CTR in the bush a bit myself, and I find that this magazine, which sticks out a little bit, can actually hamper you a little bit when you sling it over your shoulder. There are times when it becomes a little uncomfortable and the magazine goes into the small of your back. Tikka have thought about that with the UPR stock, and they have added flush cup mountings on the side of your rifle, which means that you can carry this rifle side on. Instead of having the magazine going into your back, the magazine is flat with your back, which I think is a fantastic feature. So just as an example, here's a little flush cup. This is obviously what your sling would fit onto, and the rifle itself has a flush cup fitting over here and once again over here, and that is just really cool. It pops in, it's secure, it will never come out. You have to depress the button and pull her out. Very, very nice feature. Another feature that I really like, and I must tell you, it's one of the few rifles that this has actually worked out on, is that she has 2 sling swivels. The CTR has 1 sling swivel, this one has 2, one in the front and one slightly to the rear. When I put a bipod on most rifles I tend to have to take this rear one out. On this rifle, no problem at all, my bipod fits and my sling swivel is still there. Absolutely superb. The UPR comes, as the name suggests, a UPR stock. It's a far more solid stock than the plastic stock that's on the CTR, and it has a couple of advantages. It's sort of a crossover between an A3 and an A5 style stock with a vertical pistol grip, but still nice and narrow here in the forend. So it's not a big bulky stock. You can still use it for all practical purposes like hunting and carrying in the veld and that. Once again, the magazine is a 10-shot. These magazines are interchangeable. Spare magazines are available if you require more, and 5-shot magazines are also available. The spacer system that we've got on the CTR will also fit on the UPR. In this case, I haven't got to that yet. It's still stock standard. You'll also notice a massive difference here that this one has an adjustable cheek piece, which is absolutely fantastic because now I can always align my cheek with the scope irrespective of what the scope height is. And it's very, very simple to adjust. You simply loosen this little knob over here and you can actually feel little click indentations as you lift and lower the cheek piece. A really, really nice feature. Also nice to bear in mind is that when you remove the bolt, you're going to have to depress that all the way so that the bolt can be released. Right, I'm absolutely ecstatic about the group that we just shot. 5 rounds, pretty much one ragged hole, 100 meters. That was with the CTR from Tikka. Now we're going to try Tikka's UPR, Ultimate Precision Rifle. Same exercise, 5 rounds, and the goal is to shoot sub-MIA, but the bar has been set by the CTR, so let's see if we can do pretty much the same thing. 5 rounds. can honestly say there's not much in it. The higher score definitely goes in this case to the CTR, but there really is absolutely nothing in it. Forget about MOA. I mean, we're talking about a quarter MOA, if not better here. Absolutely, absolutely stunning, absolutely phenomenal. And what's really nice about this is it's not it's a rifle that can be used for so many applications. It's not big, it's not bulky, it's not heavy. It will be fantastic for sporting purposes. It will be fantastic for hunting purposes. And like I said before, it's really not heavy. I've actually had the opportunity to take the stock off the rifle. The stock weighs absolutely nothing. I unfortunately couldn't weigh it at the time because my scale's battery had gone flat, but it really is super, super light and super strong and sturdy and rigid. So from a hunting application, a four-sit application, bucky hunting, walk and stalk, and the fact that you've got these little flush cups and you can carry the rifle across your back without having the magazine digging into you, absolute bonus. What an absolutely wonderful, well thought out platform. And for somebody looking for a rifle that can really do almost everything, this is something I would certainly look at. So like I said, we're going to give the UPR a bash at 300 meters on a steel plate. 5 rounds, Saku Gamehead Pro, 130 grain. 5 out of 5 for the CTR, compact tactical rifle. Now we're going to try 5 rounds, 300 meters, steel, UPR, ultimate precision rifle, and immediately it just sits nicely on the bench. It's really so perfect for a bipod and a little backrest situation like this little setup. And I love this thumbs up position that you can do. You can wrap your thumb around if you want to, but this palm swell just lends itself, the vertical grip just lends itself to the thumb up position. Let's give her a try. That's a hit. Two out of 2. That's another hit. That's 5 out of 5. I'm so impressed with this rifle. Well, I'm impressed with both rifles. So at the end of the day, it really just boils down to what kind of configuration you like, and of course you have to pay a little bit more for the better quality stock. But these rifles really do live up to their names. Compact tactical rifle, UPR, ultimate precision rifle. And they can be used for so many different things. Felt kit competitions, bench rest competitions, just having fun, hunting, they're not too heavy. It's just such a nice compromise. It doesn't have a light barrel. The profile is still thick enough to fire multiple shots without heating up too quickly. Just such a nice stable platform. And for the man that wants to own only one rifle, so that he's got a bit more money to maybe spend on his scope and his mounts and his reloading equipment and that, this is just such a great place to start, because you can use this, like I said, for training, for sport shooting, for hunting purposes, walk and stalk, four-sit type, traditional four-sit waiting and stalking type hunting applications. Really is an absolutely fantastic rifle. So here we are at the 300 meter mark. Our gong is over here. Not a true reflection of the CTR and the UPR's actual accuracy potential. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we fired 5 rounds with the UPR, 5 rounds with the CTR, all on the same target. And remember, I wasn't waiting for this gong to be 100% stationary. So every time I was shooting at it, it still had some movement in it. But I think we can all agree that for 10 rounds out of 2 rifles at 300 meters, that's really nothing to complain about. I'm extremely impressed.